Okay, so
Hey, quick question. Did you do the dishes in the trash earlier?
no.
Oh, dang it.
That means this place is gonna stink.
I gotta work on that.
There's so much to do. So, do you remember how to do these live stream things, like whatever it was we were doing here?
I think we're supposed to, so you have your camera on, right?
I believe I do.
Yeah. And then I think you got your mic on. I can hear you.
Yeah.
And then I think you just have to click go live, I think.
I don't know. We haven't done this in fucking forever. Just.
Ah, shit. We're already live. Damn it.
Oh, wait. Are we back? Is it? Wait. Was that our intro coming back from this high? God damn it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Cinefanatics. This is the tagline. Welcome to 2022. My name is Robert Adams.
I'm Chris Adams, and that was the coldest open ever.
That was so cold. It was cold like the cold front that's going to be coming through Texas tomorrow.
I'm not excited about that.
Yeah, I am. It was a little warm today. It's like January. I'm in cargo shorts, whatever.
I can't.
How are y'all doing? It has been, like about a month or so?
It's been about 3 weeks or so.
We've done this. Yeah, so there's been some things changed, as you can see. Brand new graphic, nice little overlay here. What do y'all think of this? I don't know why it's a stone texture background. It has nothing to do with movies, so whatever. Just it looks pleasing, and I enjoy working on it. We're on the moon. Is that moon falling?
I hope so.
Yeah. Anyways, we may go see that at some point. Oh, look at everyone that's in the chat. I see Brennan Marr. That would be the FCL Star Wars champion in there. How are you doing tonight? There's Vernon and Garth. It is so nice to see y'all in here again. Commentating Nerd. Garth, they swore 3 times. Yeah. Malcolm, welcome back, sir. My innocent ears, I never swear. Yeah. And look at them with their matching blue lights. Yeah, there's been some changes made. We'll go into that here in a little bit. But thank y'all for being back on this inaugural tagline episode of 2022. Chris, what have you been up to in the hiatus? I say that like I don't live with you and I don't already know.
I've been doing a lot over on Twitch, actually. Are you expecting a joke answer there? Nah, I'm on Twitch a lot now. I actually got my schedule set up on there, so we'll obviously do like plugs and stuff, but yeah, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, I am twitching on those days.
Are you plugging your crap already?
I'm plugging my crap already, man. It's huge. So no, we're doing big things over there. We are going to be playing some games. I'm going to start clipping stuff out, putting stuff up on my YouTube channel. I already did like some reactions and whatnot. Everything recorded live on stream. So we're doing all that kind of stuff over on the Twitch channel now. So it's gonna be a good time. I need to build that up because I didn't get a Twitch payout this month because I didn't have enough subs. Hey, what up?
Yeah, so everybody go sub to him. That would be twitch.tv/ChrisAdamsMLP. Everyone sub. If you're here and you haven't subbed, go sub. If you have subbed, go back and sub again. I don't know if that's actually something.
That's not how that works.
Okay. That's not how that works.
I mean, technically you can sub every month, so.
Yeah. Also, don't forget, if you are subscribed to Amazon Prime, you are allowed 1 free sub to Twitch. Please make that sub Chris Adams MLP.
That is facts.
Because it would be nice if Amazon gives us money for once instead of me giving Amazon money all the time.
Yeah, suck it, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, why can't the rest of us have money too? Like, it's just you. Anyways, that's a topic for another conversation. Yeah, I've been good during this hiatus also. Thinking some things over, planning, getting ready for what's coming up with this next year. I feel like I'm going to go into that probably a little bit later. Robert wouldn't know because we have to gift him every month. No, so like if I notice I haven't subbed, I will sub. But yeah, usually before I'm able to get to it, someone else is doing like the massive amount of subs, and I just happen to be a part of those. So I'll throw those out too. So anyway, I don't know why I'm defending myself on that. I do sub. It's my brother. Anyways, guys, as always, since we're YouTubers, we're going to do that YouTube thing real quick. Streamlabs.com/cinefanatics. You got questions, comments, you want to let us know specifically what your number one pick of movies from 2021 are, and you want to make sure we see it and just don't glaze over it while we look over the thousands of people that are in the chat right now, and that chat's just flying by like this is a Mr. Beast video stream or something.
I can't keep up.
Yeah, if you want to make sure your chat does stand out, streamlabs.com/cinefanatics. There's also patreon.com/cinefanatics. If you want to help us out on a month-to-month basis, because that's what we like to see is just recurring support or community, I guess. However you would word things. Yeah, my grammar has not improved going into this new year.
You did not read a dictionary at all during the 3 weeks that we were off.
If y'all would like to get me a subscription to Grammarly, no, I don't want Grammarly. Patreon.com/cinefanatics.
Also,
coming.
The other one you can get a subscription to is Rosetta Stone for English.
Good joke. Anyways, so coming up for the Patreon, we do have the movie trivia hangout. If you are at the Maverick tier or higher, that will be Monday the 24th. I believe that's this upcoming Monday.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, hop on the Maverick tier. We are getting trivia started back up again because I don't know. Maybe like the First Class League is going to call upon us to participate in some trivia matches. Who knows? I don't.
We got a little buffer period here. I don't think we're doing teams right at the start, but yes, FCL is coming back up, so we do need to get our training pants back on. Training pants? Anyway, put those back on for trivia. Just go with it. And we'll get ready, and we'll be a team, and we're gonna have some fun, and maybe we'll do some singles also. Probably not gonna touch IG or Star Wars, not this year anyway. So yeah, trivia night, guys. Trivia, help us be knowledgeable.
Yes. What time is trivia? Trivia is going to be at the 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. Because I got to work and I don't get off work till 9 Central. So
9 Central.
Vernon, wait, we're still doing trivia sessions? Yes, and they're actually going to be useful this year. Like we're actually going to focus and make sure we win matches. Or at least he's going to make sure he wins matches.
Hey.
What's going on, Jeremy Miller? Hello there. Anyways, so trivia hangout, that's Monday the 24th, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. The following Monday, the 31st, will be the Patreon watch along. That's going to be in Discord. So as long as you're at the $5 due tier and on our Discord, you'll be able to participate in that. Since it's so close to February 2nd, why don't we do a good old-fashioned classic? We're going to do Groundhog Day and just watch this movie repeat itself.
Polls will come back, but for this month, we are just making an executive decision on watching Groundhog Day.
Which one of us is the executive?
Yes.
That's a good answer.
Depends on what day and which thing we need to access. I don't know.
Who's on their medication that day? Who knows? Yeah, possibly. Anyway, so that's what's coming up for Patreon. Upcoming shows, we do have, I believe, I don't know why I didn't put the date on there. It will be not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday, the 29th. We will be back to doing the marquee. This marquee episode is just going to be me and my brother, which would be this person over here. Not him, that's Galactus, but the person over here.
Funny joke.
Good one. Anyway, so that is going to be our anticipated, like tier ranking our most anticipated movies of 2022. So kind of like the reverse of what we're about to do on this show.
Yeah. Sort of.
So we'll sit there between the Cinefanatics. You'll see what movie we are in collective agreement as to what's going to be really good. Spoiler alert, I'm not ranking Batman very high. Just saying. You'll find out why if you're watching the marquee that night.
Ranking it decently okay. Decently high.
Yeah. Hashtag Chris for Galactus in the MCU.
Harold!
Yeah, well, you're going to need to get a bigger toilet for that if you're going to be Galactus. I mean, he
Put
eats
a planet.
worlds.
Put a planet in my mouth.
Oh, this is the wrong channel to be saying stuff like that. Save it for your OnlyFans.
Wait, now let's break this down. How you take that dirty? It's a planet.
Have you seen this planet? It's pretty filthy.
Okay, that's true. That's a good point.
Climate change is real, y'all. Just kidding. Well, it might be. I don't know.
just kidding.
Yeah. Anyways, now that the show has break to a halt or squealed to a halt or whatever the saying is, let's continue on. Marquee on the 29th. Channel changes. Do you want to take that first one?
Yeah, we'll talk about this. So, as you guys are aware, you are watching the two idiots again by themselves. That's us. We no longer have a third member on the channel. That was Tori. Tori has exited. We have not had outside of a tweet, we haven't had a real, ability to address this publicly, but not actually much to address. If you guys saw her tweet, she put it out there. Pretty much that's exactly it. She was no longer feeling up to doing content online in a video format. So she has exited for, it's a choice that she made for herself. We respect that choice. So, we absolutely obviously wish her nothing but the best. I know, she had such a great personality on here too. Like she was really good. So I have nothing but the highest hopes and, acknowledging that she's going to do fantastic in whatever she does and wherever she goes. But yeah,
she was better at this than we were when we first started. She just right off the bat was able to interact. Oh yeah, she was able to
jump in. Yeah, so she's going to be good at whatever she does. I think she's got, pretty good mind on her shoulder in terms of being able to, know what she wants and go after it. So we are going to miss her. She is always welcome back here. The door's open. So at some point, maybe someday down in the future, if she's ready and wants to do, content online again, she is always welcome to come back and hang out with us and do any kind of stuff that we're doing here. So, yep, never say never. She might pop back in at some point, but for the time being, she is hit the dusty trail. So,
thanks for the visual, Garth. Just really, really needed that tonight. Just
nope. It's
anyways. That being said,
it's pretty much going to be the two of us for a while now. So,
well, now that we have this visual in our head, we're going to go ahead and take a hiatus for another 3 weeks to scrub our brains of this.
Yeah.
Blame Chris is driving in LA. Tori and I felt the wrath of the gentleman behind the wheel.
Nope. It wasn't my driving in LA. It's everybody else is driving in LA.
Yeah. The ones who live in LA, it's their fault, not the people who are not from LA visiting.
But have y'all been to LA? Let's be honest.
Yeah, you people drive like insane people. Anyway,
I'm not living in LA.
Anyway, so yeah, definitely we'll miss having Tori here. But we will press on. As you can see, we're updating. I feel like every year that we do a hiatus break, we'll probably take another break or so in the summer, maybe one in the spring. I don't know. But I feel like every time we do some kind of a hiatus, I feel like something needs to be changed or updated. Well, one of the first things I wanted to change and update was the overlay. I like this. I feel like this graphic looks a lot better, a lot cleaner. I've been playing more with doing the Photoshop type of graphics, so kind of like how this looks. If everyone is enjoying it, give me a thumbs up down below where it says like. That'll let me know that you enjoy the graphics. Anyways.
Okay, just to be clear, that was not my fault.
That was all the crazy people driving in LA.
No. That was this one's decision to say, oh yeah, we need to exit right here. I fully blame him. It's not. No, this doesn't work anymore. You changed the
Yeah.
overlay. You
See
can't
what
do that.
happens. See what happens when you do that. It makes you. It leaves you on camera and leaves you looking weird. So don't do that.
Can't we just do?
That was the joke.
I can't stop your camera though.
Mm-hmm. So it was fun watching Chris change his light bulb for his new look. You know, content is everything nowadays. Changing a light bulb, it's awesome. You don't see it very much anymore. Everyone usually is doing it on an app or something.
If I had multiple camera angles, I totally would have clipped that out and left it as a video on my channel that nobody would watch right now, but people later on would watch.
Still not watch it. How to change a light bulb? No.
If I ever get to a point where I'm amassing thousands of views live on Twitch and, you know, however many subs on my YouTube channel, which, by the way, youtube.com/Chris Adams MLP. That is a thing. Plugs in the middle of the show, man. Yo, that's how we do it out here in the grind. Anyway, that could actually end up generating views on a video at some point later. Inner workings of YouTube aside, what else are we doing here?
So the other thing is I want to have more of a focus this year on really like building up this channel. The pandemic, part of it was the pandemic kind of hurt since there was like no real movie content. Part of it was also just our inability to, I'm going to go ahead and say it in a weird way, but put forth any kind of an effort to quickly jump on trailer reactions or figure out a real way to do movie reviews. The problem with I'll address movie reviews real quick. When you're new, which we're still new, we've been doing this for years, we're still new. When you're new at this and nobody knows who you are, you're not an established entity, property, or anything. If you're trying to give your opinion about something, whether it's a movie or a plate of food or I'm trying to think of what I could say, and I'm like, I'm not going to say that one. If you're trying to give an opinion about something, nobody cares. We don't know who you are. Why are we going to listen to you and your opinions? So, that being said, the idea is to just do a whole lot more of them, so eventually someone stumbles upon it, likes it, watches it, and then comes back because they trust our opinion on one. So, we're going to do a lot more reviews. We kind of tested that. What was the one we tested that on? What was the last movie we saw before we went on a hiatus?
Oh, we did the Spider-Man. We did the Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man. Yeah.
In theater. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I want to do something like that, where as soon as we're done seeing the movie, we have the little spot that we were at the theater that we go to, set up a table, quickly set up a camera, microphones, film like a 2-minute non-spoiler review, just immediate out of the theater thoughts. It's easy to digest. It's small, quickly watchable. Click on it. In 2 minutes, you're done. You kind of get like our base ideas. And then like say on the following tagline, we may do more of a spoilery review of the movie. So I'm thinking that's what we'll do. Yeah, a little more in depth. And then we may actually end up clipping that out as like the spoiler review of the movie. Woohoo! Look at what's in there. That's a new one.
You say the F word once on the channel and everything goes to shit.
Online strips without clothing. Yes. So everyone, let's stop watching this because I want to see that. Let's move on over there. That looks a lot more enjoyable than... anyways, thank you, Garth, for taking care of that. That's funny, though. Anyways, horrible. I forgot what else we were talking. Oh, yeah. Focusing on reactions. I think we just did.
That was a reaction.
Yeah. So we're going to get to reactions a lot quicker, faster, more plentiful. You want to see what we thought of that movie trailer? You're going to see it at some point. We'll get it done. We're going to get up there. We're going to build the views on this channel, bring more people in. Possibly the goal is to bring in people that are not familiar with us from outside of the Schmodown. Like a lot of the people watching right now, you primarily know us just from doing Schmodown content before or have the connection to the movie trivia Schmodown. While we very much appreciate the fact that you still watch us and you came because of that connection, our inherent love of the Schmodown, I also want to get people who may not be familiar with the Schmodown who just simply like movies and they want to see opinions of two white guys talking about movies. So
two white guys talking about movies.
Yeah, sorry, I was kind of stealing PLD and PJ Campbell's thing there. Those are two mediocre white dudes. Shout out to PJ Campbell. It is his birthday today. Happy birthday, Peach, or whatever you call yourself.
Maybe you need to continue your hiatus.
Anyway, so that is what's coming up. Let's go over movies watched during the hiatus.
A lot.
There was a lot of them. I'm not going to touch upon them all, so we're just going to move on.
Yeah, we watched a lot.
There was a lot of movies. If you want to know exactly what all movies we watched, make sure you follow us on Letterboxd. It is at Robert Adams MLP and Chris Adams MLP. There's a whole list of movies that we've been like, say, hey, I watched this movie. Here's what I rank it or rate it, whatever. Anyways, I see more people have joined us, including Movie Fanobi, which Movie Fanobi also dropped the super chat or Streamlabs, whatever they're called.
Good Lord. Yeah. No one use super chats. YouTube takes way too much money. Only Streamlabs. Where is... That's what I've been trying to like bring up over here.
Okay. Well, I've got it. Movie Fanobi says, hello, brothers. I saw some posts about a fundraiser. Not sure if I'll be around for a full event, but best of luck to your health. Take care, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Yes, there is a fundraiser event that is happening this weekend. We will have more information about that towards the end of the show tonight. So,
yep.
Let's get into, well, I mean, kind of, sort of, I guess. This thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is what's happening in your world tonight.
We apologize for the interruption.
Back to you.
I know. It's like I kind of wanted to say it this time. I was like, I don't want to. By the way, there's also a slight change to this channel. We're not gonna keep it as family friendly as we used to. That's just way too effing hard to do. So if it calls for it, you may hear a couple of words here and there.
I'm gonna put some reins on you though, because I feel like I need to.
No, here's the thing. In real life, I'm not a person that like needs to drop F-bombs like all the time. So the agreement on this is that we're still going to keep it pretty mild, but if there's a situation or a feeling or emotion that needs that kind of accentuation, you can expect that it will get that kind of accentuation now.
It's a little bit over a PG-13 rating.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see.
Thanks, Movie Fanobi. We won't see that money for another 3 years.
I do what I want, Mr. Adams. That's awesome.
We will see $5 of that this time next year.
Movie Fanobi says he also wants more cats and holy forking shirt balls.
Yeah. Lola's currently on her throne. I don't know if she's going to make an appearance or not tonight.
Yeah, Lola's had a nice amount of food and she is passed out. And she has the most comfiest place to sleep in this entire apartment. And I'm so jealous. We do have a Streamlabs from Garth saying, I still have too many 2021 movies I need to see before I make a full list of top 2021 movies. For now, my top 2021 movies are Pig, Spider-Man No Way Home, Dune, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and The Suicide Squad. Also, I'm looking forward to Friday. You haven't seen Friday, the Chris Tucker Ice Cube movie? It's actually really good. I hate to say it,
Garth, that wasn't a 2021 movie.
Yeah, that's been out since like 95. I mean, there's even been two sequels to it too. And
you goof, that wasn't a 2021 movie.
Yeah. Anyways. That was stupid.
These are the jokes, people. These are the jokes.
I saw Friday. You saw next Friday first before you saw the original Friday?
I'm very confused by that sentence. I saw Friday next first.
Yeah, that was kind of like... I did it last. The Willy Wonka. Stop. Reverse it.
Flip it and reverse it. No? Okay.
Wow. And you say, I can't sing. I can't sing. You're not allowed to rap. Okay? No Missy Elliott coming from that side of the screen.
No Missy Elliott coming from that side of the screen either. Chill.
If you're worth it,
stop. Anyways, guys, we're
BCD,
in.
what's up?
Hey, what's on, BC? We are in the movie news now, and y'all know how this works. We usually open it up with a little bit of the box office. Now, I'm no Dan Merle over here. I don't do the in-depth level of research he does because that is his life. He is dedicated to being able to go in, and he probably interviews a bunch of movie theaters all the time and gets their word and stuff. And who knows? He's actually probably lost his mind completely to Coco Melon at this point. But I do look at the top 10 that we've had in the box office, the domestic U.S. box office, unless there's a reason to look at the world, which I believe we did in the last time we did this. But
it depends on the movie. Like Spider-Man, I'm interested to see what the world says about it. But
yeah. But usually we're looking at the top 10 in the U.S. domestic box office. Let you guys know where the movie lies. Is your favorite movie doing well? Will you possibly see a sequel to it based on money? Because that's how businesses work. Maybe, but we'll go over this top 10. Let's see where it's at. Can we guess what is number one this week in the box office?
This is what's going to be interesting because I haven't looked at box office like charts since the before time, and I have no idea. Like, I'm gonna guess probably number one I would say is Scream. But I mean, Scream? I would also believe it if Scream hasn't been able to hit that number one and it was still Spider-Man.
So the number one movie in the box office this week is not Scream, it's Five Cream. Let's get the title right. Come on.
Five Cream.
It's Five Cream. No, it's Scream. So it amassed and I'm doing the regular weekend. I'm not doing MLK weekend here, so I'm not counting Monday's totals in this. Also, we're just doing the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It amassed about $30 million in its opening weekend. Not too bad. Not too bad. Still not as high as like these movies were pre Panini, but this is where we're at. Spider-Man pre-Panini. You heard me. Spider-Man is actually at 20 million this weekend in the number 2 spot, and number 3 is actually Sing 2. It's hitting that family film market, I guess, with a little under 8 million. So not too bad. Number 4, we've got the 355. Number 5, we have the Kingsman. Number 6 is a new release called Belle. Number 7 is American Underdog. That Shazam knockoff movie. You know what I'm talking about. It's Shazam. Number 8 is West Side Story, the remake, not the original.
You mean the movie from 1961 is not on the chart?
I feel like I need to clarify because we made the joke about Friday earlier. So, just gotta be sure we're like keeping consistent here. It's the new one that Steven Spielberg directed. That's what's number 8 right now. Number 9 is Licorice Pizza, which it was at number 9 last week in the box office. So it has plateaued. It is not moved. The pasta,
that's the pandemic.
The San Francisco treat.
It's rice-a-roni.
Right, rice panini. So Licorice Pizza is hanging tight at that number 9 spot. And then number 10 is The Matrix Resurrections. So
interesting. So it was Scream. It was Scream that came out this past weekend, correct? Was that this past weekend or was it the weekend before?
It was this weekend.
Okay. So of course I saw it. You did not. I haven't had like any real platform to give my thoughts, feelings on Scream. So I'll go ahead and share some non-spoilery because we all know, Scream by now. It's a horror movie, but it's also
the killer's Ghostface.
Whodunit. Yeah, it's also a whodunit. So I don't want to reveal the whodunit type of thing because that's the fun of those movies. I thought it was actually pretty good. The movie was done very well, put together very well. The script was good. The story was good. I will say, though, that overall I feel like it's not necessary unless, and Jeremy Miller's pointing this out here, they're already greenlighting another movie. So that makes sense. If they can do another trilogy, then I get why this movie exists. but without having that other trilogy, or without them continuing this movie, there's no reason for this one to exist. It was kind of like Scream 4. Scream 4 was a pretty decent movie, good story. No reason for it to exist, though. It didn't bring anything new to the Scream universe.
Except Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, which, I mean, thank you. Hayden Panettiere is fantastic in anything. But they didn't bring anything story-wise. It didn't bring new ideas or anything. It was just, here's the same kind of an idea with the new killer and mask and try to guess who it is, and that's it. And I feel like that's what this movie did too. But I do see how this movie has the possibility of leading into another trilogy. And in that case, that will make this movie much better. So,
yeah. And you know, that's the whole reason why this movie exists, is because they wanted to revitalize the franchise. I mean, that's how horror movies are. How often do we get a new like Nightmare on Elm Street, or a new Friday, or a new Friday 13th, or a new
some of those have wrapped in like Friday 13th's been wrapped in like legal hell for like over a decade.
Sure. But the point I'm getting at is that, you know, fine, look like Insidious or Paranormal Activity or Saw. Look at some of these, you know, other movies, Conjuring, whatever. Some of these newer ones that, you know, we've seen get multiple sequels consistently. That's the horror movie charm, is that you can just make a new horror movie with throw some jump scares in there, do whatever you do, and boom, there you go. So, you know, it's, of course they're going to want to make an entire new trilogy out of this. That was kind of the plan to begin with. It's a franchise that makes money.
I would have said that should have been the plan with Scream 4, because I do see how they could have made Scream 4 a part of like a new trilogy as well, but they just did not take advantage of that. This one, I do see like a lot of good potential with it, and I hope they do, because this was a good like springboard for a new trilogy. But as a standalone movie, just didn't really need it. It was good though. I enjoyed it. I did guess the ending, the killer or killers. I'm gonna leave that ambiguous because we've seen either one in these movies. I did guess the end like about halfway through the movie. So I feel like it was kind of like, I guess if you know what to look for, it's easy to figure out and guess on this one. But
I feel like this movie still sounds like a bougie coffee order. 5 cream, 2 sugars.
It's so stupid.
And on that note,
can I get some whip on that? Anyways, yeah, that's my thoughts on the new Scream. And please, for the love of God, would y'all put numbers after the title of the movie? Stop with this like retitling a movie with the same title as the original Halloween thing, or The Thing. Sorry, got to get used to articles before the title in 2-word situations. Anyways, I hate that. It is so freaking confusing, especially if you're going to type it out or do any kind of an article about it. Because now whenever I talk about this, I have to make sure I clarify Scream 2022 instead of Scream 5 or 5 Cream or whatever.
Yeah, you can just call it 5 cream.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the opportunity to call it
stick.
There's also the opportunity to call it 2 Scream, 2 Furious. So you knew you're talking about sequels and you got to put titles on the. You knew you were going to do a Fast and Furious joke in there.
Scream Woodsboro Drift.
Exactly, you know.
Exactly, but not exactly, because that was stupid.
Scream, Electric Boogaloo, whatever, you know, all the usual jokes.
Yeah. Anyways, was there anything else we need to cover as far as the box office goes?
No, we're gonna keep an eye on it still. I mean, I can look this up actually. You wanted to see what Spider-Man was at worldwide right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even though it's like a month into its release, it's literally been about a month. It came out on the 17th of December.
What's its total domestically, and then what's its total worldwide?
Total domestically right now is nearing 700 million.
That's really good.
So we're looking at like a movie of pre-pandemic style. Worldwide, give me a second here, let it load.
Because I believe after the Star Wars special editions came out in 97 or so, the the first Star Wars: A New Hope was actually like at 760 million, and the number one movie of all time until
there goes.
What it got beat by what? Not Titanic.
Avatar.
Star Wars. A New Hope was number one for the longest time after
Titanic.
After the special editions came out. Was Titanic number one? Did Titanic beat?
Oh, wow. How quickly you forget. Yeah, Titanic was the number one movie of all time for quite a long time.
Well, because I know... Well, yeah, okay. So I know Titanic and Star Wars were both... Star Wars re-released in 97 for the special edition.
Yep,
Titanic came out in 97. So I guess Star Wars was number one before Titanic.
Probably. I imagine it was. Yeah, no, Titanic was in that number one spot from 97 to 2010, technically. 2009, 2010, when Avatar was released. So we never thought Titanic would get beaten, and then Avatar somehow did it. Damn it, James Cameron. And then we didn't think that would get beaten, and then Endgame beat Avatar, and then technically Avatar took it back on a re-release overseas. So Avatar's back to being the number one movie of all time.
But I'm pretty sure Endgame will get re-released because both Endgame and Avatar are now owned by Disney. Disney knows they're going to play this game with us because they know we'll play it too. So
dance, puppets, dance.
It's our puppets, dance.
So
do what Disney demands.
Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home right now worldwide is at 1.6 billion. Yeah, so 1,630,521,000. So it's nowhere near the number one spot of all time right now, because it's got to hit over like 3 billion, I think, in order to get there. But it's still a pretty sizable amount. So I think they're going to do a sequel to this little Spider-Man guy. I don't know. This little Spider-Man film might get another movie. I'm thinking
possibly, maybe, hopefully. Would love
also
to see
considering.
that.
Also considering Sony and Marvel re-up their contract. So, we'll probably see another little friendly neighborhood tale.
Yeah.
To astonish. I don't
know. Anyways, was there anything else we want to talk about before we get into the top movies of 2021?
We should get into the top movies of 2021.
That sounds like a good idea. Glad you thought of that. So we've decided that we're going to do this based off of, we're going to do what? The top 20?
Yeah, so I figured we could like really dive into the top 10, but the 11 through 20 or 11 through 20s, we can just briefly breeze past. Because the thing is like in years past, especially in 2020, there's no way we saw enough movies to do a top 20. This year 2021 was packed with a bunch of killer movies. Some really good films came out this year, and it was so hard to narrow it down to a top 10. It really was. I mean, I could technically do a 21.
I mean, if we need to,
just throw Black Widow back in there.
Did I not throw it in there? Oh no, I don't have it. Yeah, okay. Actually, I probably should stick that in there, and that would knock out because I did like Black Widow more than a couple of these other ones.
Are you still working on it?
Dang, I'm re-looking over my list now, and all of a sudden I don't like where stuff is at. Like,
now that you have to present it publicly to people, you can be like,
I know, I don't like this. Anyways,
this is why you do it like I did. Keep track of it throughout the year.
Whatever.
You have the entire year to convince yourself that you're correct in your own opinion.
Yeah. But here's the thing with this, and I don't mind this at all. These top movies are a living top movies. As of right now, while we're filming this live in front of a non-studio audience, this is where my opinion lies. At the beginning of this stream, I was okay with sharing this, so I'm going to share it. It may change. I can almost guarantee you, though, my top 3 are not moving at all whatsoever.
But my list isn't going to change because I'm never going to touch it again after this.
Yeah, well,
it'll be a moment in time encapsulated on my Letterboxd.
There's still some 2021 movies that we both need to see and get to. We just haven't had the opportunity yet. We haven't seen Nightmare Alley. We haven't seen House of Gucci. I don't know if those would have wound up on this list, but as of right now, they're
Almost
not on there.
Can almost guarantee you that neither one would be on my top 10.
Well, see, here's the thing. I would have said that before a couple of days ago. I would have been like, yeah, I don't think there's any other movies that from 2021 that I need to watch that are going to pop up on here. And then I watched one and I was wrong.
Yes. There's 2 movies very recently that ended up on your list that you didn't think were necessarily going to be there. But here's the difference between those 2 movies and House of Gucci and Nightmare Alley. The 2 movies in question that you will get to here in a little bit, that I will also probably get to in some form or fashion, are very widely well-received movies from 2021.
Everybody online is like, you need to see this. These are so good.
House of Gucci and Nightmare Alley are...
No one's saying that.
Those are movies. They exist. You can go see them if you want.
Yeah.
It's okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, likely based on general opinion, probably not going to be in my top 10.
So I just want to quickly, so both of us, I would say, like, one of us will share 11 through 20. Anything you want to say about those movies, just real briefly, and then we'll move on to our top 10. So, you want to go first?
So you want me to do countdown 20 to 11? I'll just go 20 to 11 right now.
Yeah.
So 21 is Black Widow.
You're actually going to go 21. Okay.
Why not? It's right there. I have it on Letterboxd. It's right in front of my face. I might as well. Good movie. Moving on. Keep in mind, like, what I hate about this is that down up to 20 is like movies that I consider really good. Honestly, even going further than that.
That's the thing, like, compared to previous years, I think when we've talked about like our honorable mentions or whatever, they've been like movies that may have been pretty good, or some of these may be just like straight up like fart boxes or whatever. I don't think, like, even my number 20 is still a good movie, and I will watch it again, but they're just not my top 10.
Yeah, and I will preface this by saying, I think we design our lists kind of differently, a little differently. I go by based on what I've given it as a rating in my Letterboxd, which, as of right now, I only have like one movie that's 5-star rated. I'm probably going to change that here pretty soon and start calling more movies perfect movies to me. But for now, I have everything listed according to how I ranked it star rated in my Letterboxd. So when I sit here and I tell you that number 20 is Black Widow, or 21 is Black Widow, I rated this 3.5 stars. I rated Black Widow 3.5 stars, and it shows as a like. Anything that's under 3 stars is generally something that I'm not too big a fan of. But if it's over 3 stars, 3 stars or more, I usually like it. So when we're talking about number 20 or number 21 just edging out of the list, that's what we're looking at. But let's move on to 20 through 11 for me. Number 20 is King Richard. Liked it. Good movie. Really solid. I was going to say autobiography, but Will Smith didn't direct it. And he's not the father of Venus and Serena. But anyway, really good movie. Great story. Will Smith killed it. The girls who played Venus and Serena killed it. Their mom, Anjanou, her name's Anjanou Ellis, I believe. She killed it. Really solid film. Moving on to number 19, I put No Time to Die. Actually, I love the Craig Bond movies. Pretty much all of them have a special place. I say special place, but I pretty much like them all. So this one I thought was no exception. I thought it was really good. Had a fascinating direction, ending, everything. Really, really solid movie. Number 18 is what I'm on, right? Yeah, number 18, I have Raya and the Last Dragon. Disney animation, pretty solid. Really good story. Loved Awkwafina in it as the dragon. Really good as far as like just telling the story that they were telling. Thought it was kind of funny in places where they were bringing in like modern lingo and stuff. I thought that was a little strange, but otherwise, really, really good, solid Disney animation. Number 17. This one might actually surprise some people. I love Wes Anderson. I think he's fantastic. There's only really one of his movies that I've kind of generally panned on, and that was Life Aquatic. But French Dispatch was actually a really unique one. considering that it was done in a anthology-like style, where there's different vignettes, story vignettes put together in one movie, all surrounded by this newspaper company. It's the most Wes Anderson movie that Wes Anderson ever has done. It is the most like self-serving.
Wes Anderson has ever Wes Andersoned.
Yeah, it's the most in-your-face Wes Anderson has ever been with his own style. And I love it. I thought it was great. It's definitely not the cup of tea for everybody because Wes Anderson's probably not everyone's cup of tea. So, but I thought it was really well produced, really well done. Let's see, that was 17. So now we're on to 16. So for me, 16 is The Harder They Fall. If y'all have not seen it, it's on Netflix. Really solid Western. Y'all are going to hear me say really solid a lot just because I'm trying to like breeze through these and I need a really easy compliment to give a movie. Starring why am I blanking on his name right now? Jonathan Majors. Elba? Yeah. Oh, Jonathan Majors, Idris Elba. Yeah, both of them.
Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, exactly. Kang and Bloodsport. Really good, really well made. Just a fun cast and a fun story. If you guys haven't seen it, it's not like a typical Western. It's so for me, like most Westerns, I would probably classify as being like kind of dull or slow. Not at all. It wasn't dull. It wasn't slow. It was really fascinating. It was really well done.
I need someone to use a cell phone every once in a while in my movies. Otherwise, it just doesn't hold suspense there.
Yeah, I need it to be modern. Excuse me. I need technology to be in my movies. What are they riding horses for? I don't understand this. But
why does someone own a car? I mean, come on, y'all are all famous movie stars. You can afford them.
The cast in this movie was fantastic, though. I mean, you had the two I mentioned. You had Lakeith Stanfield. Was it Regina King?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's Zazie Beetz. Like just a really good cast. Delroy Lindo. Let's not miss him. Just such a good cast. But anyway, that was number 16. My number 15 is Cruella. At this point, y'all have probably all seen Cruella. Disney's done the remakes a lot. Done the reimaginings of like the classic villain, and let's do a whole movie surrounding them. I thought this one was really good. I thought Emma Stone killed it as Cruella. Our movie trivia schmodown friend Paul Walter Hauser in it too, really great. So I mean, there's a lot there. It was just a really well done movie that actually gave like a pretty good, solid, fleshed out story to Cruella. Whether it's lines up canonically with what we know of 101 Dalmatians or not, I don't know, but hey, it was good. It's still a good movie. Let's see, that was 15. 14, I got Matrix Resurrections. Solid fourth movie. Didn't expect that. Didn't see that coming. Thought it was going to be rough, but they hit it out of the park. I thought it was a really good story. I really enjoyed it. It ends up in my top 20 movies. Then we have, I keep losing my place. That was 16, 15, 14.
Matrix.
So that was 13. That one, number 13. Yeah, wait. 16, 15, 14. Yeah. Number 13. Sorry. I need to get like the numbers on here or something. Number 13 is A Quiet Place Part 2, which was in my top 10 for quite a while. Both it and Cruella were in my top 10 for a while. And they both got pushed out. So that tells you how good a lot of these other movies this year were.
Yeah.
Quiet Place Part 2. Saw the first one right before it. Saw the second one now. Really solid. Really enjoyed it. I'm usually not into horror movies. This one I don't think counts enough for me to care. So I really enjoyed it. That was number 13. Number 12 is Mitchell's versus the Machines. This is a late. Yeah, Garth. A horror movie. High on my list. That's right. Wait till you see what else is on my list. There's another one that I think is technically considered horror-esque on my list too. Well, a couple of them that people consider horror-esque anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily talking about the one you're thinking, I think. Anyway, Mitchell's vs. the Machines is on my list here. Late game viewing, really enjoyed it. Did not pass the top 10, but I thought it was incredibly clever. You're probably going to talk more about it, so I'm not going to harp on it too long. Really well done animation. obviously from Phil Lord, Chris Miller. Makes perfect sense. If you've seen it, you understand. Really good. Just a really good movie. And then number 11, I tried so hard to keep this in my top 10.
Quitter.
I tried so hard to keep it in my top 10, but it couldn't. A last minute viewing kicked it out. Number 11 is Lamb. I wanted it to be number 10. I really did. I loved Lamb. Lamb was a surprise. I did not think, I saw Lamb, I was like, we're going to go see this movie. It's going to be a joke. I'm just going to laugh at it. It's not going to be something to take seriously. And it was just a delight of a movie. As much as you could probably say that word as a description for this movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was, in its bleak nature, it was a lot of fun still. It was just a unique experience. Wanted it to be number 10, but it got kicked out. And y'all will understand why, because I'll mention the movie that kicked it out later. But yeah, number 11 is Lamb. And that is my 21 through 21.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to fly through mine. Because there's a couple of, I know there's one specifically I want to kind of talk about because it's kind of controversial right now. But the rest of them, I'll kind of just fly. Yeah. No. Only it's probably not that far off, but for a different reason. So I'm going to fly through mine. Number 21, Dune. Good movie. Just, yeah. Number 20 was Power of the Dog. Thought it was pretty good. Not as strong as I would have liked, but I mean, entertainment value. 19 is King Richard. 18, I put Quiet Place Part 2. Number 17, and here's where I'm going to get my brother to nod his head and what? My number 17 is In the Heights. So, yeah, I know. You did it to me. You were putting ones you took Lamb out of your top 10. Just, anyways, my number, I liked In the Heights. I like musicals, but I don't think I connected with it as much as I did other musicals of this year, which we'll get to. Number 16, this is the one I kind of want to talk about real quick briefly. My number 16 was Don't Look Up. I liked Don't Look Up, but there's a lot of this is a very divisive movie. Divisive. It's a very divisive movie, and some of it is, I believe, kind of just the way the movie's made. I know a lot of critics are just saying they're judging this movie, they're giving their critical opinion based off of just how the movie was made. I know a lot of people, not critics generally, are talking about because of the subject matter of the movies. And I this is what I like this movie for. The people that generally are not liking this movie is because, one, this movie is negative. If you're not familiar with this movie, it's basically Armageddon meets Idiocracy, but very well done. Not like Idiocracy that really is just a spoof in your face, Mel Brooks type of movie almost. This one, it is harping on something negative, and then it's showing how we as a society don't like hearing negative. So that's why I feel like a lot of people are not liking this movie, because it's not only forcing us to see something negative, in which case this movie is an allegory for climate change or COVID pandemic. We don't like seeing negative stuff, but on top of that, this movie is also making fun of society as a whole for trying its best to ignore it. Basically, it's a meteor like Armageddon. You have this giant asteroid that's about to collide, or a comet that's about to collide with Earth, and it's a extinction level event. It's going to destroy the planet. These scientists that discover it are trying to tell the news media, and the first show that they go on, they're told don't say anything negative. We're trying to keep the show positive. Well, no, you need to know that this is about to happen. You need to be prepared, and people just don't want to face it. And I think that is very crucial for how we are living nowadays in both the discussions of climate change and COVID and stuff. we just, in general, you see people just don't want to face this. They want to bury their head in the sand type of thing and ignore it's happening. And I'm guilty of this too. I probably should be getting a checkup at my doctor every year, and I don't want to because I don't want to hear that I have high cholesterol or fatty liver or something like that. I just don't want to hear it. So I like that's what this is doing. And I thought it did it very well, and like very hilarious. The ending on it also, so I thought it was really good. Number 15 was Candyman. Love that, they did a good job on that. Number 14, Cruella, same thing. That's probably the best like Disney remake that they've done so far. 13 was Licorice Pizza. That was a really good movie. 12 is Raya, and my number 11 was Last Night in Soho.
Oh,
like Edgar Wright. So
Last Night Soho made it to 11. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
I do want to address a couple things. So Garth said, kind of hoping that Pig kicked out Lamb. It did not. Pig did not hit with me, like it did a lot of other people. Pig is actually pretty low. Not for the fact that I don't think it's a well-made film or a well-told story. I think it is. It's just the way I generated my top list here is how I felt about the movie, how much I enjoyed the movie from any vantage point, whether I thought it was really fun or I thought it was really impactful, whatever. That's how my top list is generated. Pig just didn't connect with me like it does a lot of other people, but I still think it's a well-made movie, well-told story, and I understand why it is in a lot of people's tops for the year.
And I haven't seen it yet, so it won't be in mine.
Correct. And then Don't Look Up is obviously not in mine. I haven't seen it. I don't really care to see it. I'm one of those ostriches, whatever that bird is called, that wants to bury its head in the sand because I don't need a movie like that. It's too real. I don't like Idiocracy. I can see the stupidity of humanity all around me all the time. I don't need a movie to show it to me even more.
I think the movie exists is to show people that they're acting that way in the hopes that like, hey, stop it.
Yeah, but
be better than this.
The problem with that is that movie ends up flying in an echo chamber, and it's only going to be reaching the people who already agree with what it's saying. And it's not going to be hitting the people who don't agree with what it's saying because they don't want to hear Hollywood types tell them blah, 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 blah. Anyway, no, don't point at me for that. Don't point at me for that. I agree with what the movie is saying. I don't want to watch the movie, though, because I already agree with it, and it's not telling me you're giving me anything new to think about. Don't point at me for that.
I swear that wasn't planned.
Anyway, do we want to do one by one now, or?
Yeah, but I guess.
Okay. We are going. So a lot of these movies in my top 10 and a lot in your top 10 are going to be. So we're going to be touching on some of the same movies. They're just not necessarily in the same place on both our lists. One of them might be in the same place on both of our lists. A couple of them actually might be pretty close. So
there's at least one that's in the same exact spot on both of our lists,
which is actually pretty unique because I think typically there's a few movies that end up. In years past, there's a few movies that end up in the same place on our list. So it's actually really interesting that it's just one. It might be just one this time. But regardless, we're going to be touching on some of the same movies here. So we'll probably speak to how this movie affects me or how I feel specifically about the movie. Then you'll say like how you feel specifically about the movie. Before we get into that, Nerd has put his 20 through 11 in here. So he said West Side Story is his 20, and then Free Guy, Tick Tick Boom, Power of the Dog, Pig, and then The Father. Oh, I forgot about The Father that came out this year. Anthony Hopkins.
I guess I was counting it for last year since we watched it right before the Oscars, but the Oscars were delayed this year because of the pandemic.
It's the same as like Judas and the Black Messiah. There's a lot of movies that kind of fluctuate here.
Yeah,
The Father, Black Widow, Together, Spencer, French Dispatch.
Interesting.
And that's his 20 through 11. Oh yeah.
Oh, this one. Oh boy, you both have Coming to America. No.
Coming to America is number 1 on a different list, Cat. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's number 1 on a different list.
What's your number 10?
My number 10 is going to be Ghostbusters Afterlife. Did y'all see that one coming? It's not that one didn't kick Lamb out. That one was already in front of Lamb on the list to begin with. But I really enjoyed it. I thought they did fan service and nostalgia just perfectly. I really, really enjoyed what they did with these characters and how they were able to tie it into the lore of the Ghostbusters that has come before. I connected with it.
I was 2016.
Yeah, well, with the exception of that one. I was really entertained by it. I had fun with it. It just hit the right notes for me.
Yeah.
Huh? My penny Garth. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. So
yeah. My number 10, since we had to come up with one more, that's where I decided to just go ahead and stick Black Widow, because I should have put Black Widow in there before, because I actually did enjoy it more than the other movies that I listed before. So, of course, it's a Marvel movie. I'm going to enjoy it no matter what, unless it's Eternals. So yeah, Black Widow's my number 10.
Hint, Eternals is not in either one of our top 10 lists.
Eternals is not on my list anywhere. So, dang it, neither is Shang-Chi. Yeah, I did not do my list right. Well, put Shang-Chi in there somewhere as well, probably somewhere around number 10.
Put Shang-Chi over Black Widow.
Yeah, whatever. Shang-Chi would actually be somewhere between my number 7 and number 8 on my list, so whatever.
I tried to tell him, y'all. I tried to tell him how to formulate.
Move on. What's your number 9?
He bucked against me. He's still bucking against me now. My number 9 is Shang-Chi. Really good Marvel movie. Yeah, see, I had thought about this movie already. I love that they brought in Mandarin, made him the villain here, and actually gave us the Ten Ring storyline. I love the whole, honestly, like outside of the whole movie, I love the whole story of Simu Liu getting the role here. And I just thought it was just a blast. It was just a fun back to form, like back to. All right, well, yeah, that's right. We're post Endgame now. Let's have a fun Marvel movie again. Shang-Chi was a fun Marvel movie. I really enjoyed it. It's at the. What did I say? That was number 9? Yeah, it's at the number 9 spot.
My number 9 is Nobody. It's like John Wick, only with what's his face from Breaking Bad.
Saul?
Yeah.
Saul Goodman.
Yes. I loved it. That movie was so much fun. In fact, I watched that earlier in this year, and I do remember like really enjoying it, but I know I need to go back and watch it again. So I might do that here in a couple of days. But Nobody was really good. Bob Odenkirk, that's it. Thank you, Jeremy.
Bobby O.
Or Bobby O, Catotot.
Yep, that's right. He's trying to wipe away all of Asian culture in his. I'm just kidding. Just joking. We joke about these things. I'm kidding.
My last girlfriend was Asian. Like,
did you really just do the "I have a black friend"?
Yeah. It can't be. I have a friend that's yeah. Oh, all right.
Anyway,
that's great.
So number 8 for me is Judas and the Black Messiah, which actually was pretty high on the list for quite a while. I thought this was just obviously it's a really poignant film, has a lot to say. I really was emotionally moved by it. You've got Daniel Kaluuya, who I believe won the award for this role. And then you got Lakeith Stanfield in there. Both these guys they absolutely just killed it in this movie. So it's a big recommend for me. If you haven't seen it, definitely give it a watch. I think this is one of those movies that pretty much everybody needs to check out at least at one point or another in their movie going life. It was really, really, really good. What did I ended up reading that? Like, trying to figure out what it's rated at to end up with. Oh yeah, every movie pretty much at this point on is 4.5 stars on my list. So some of these could end up being 5 stars as I go back through my movies again and try to like remember which one I consider a perfect movie or not. So keep that in mind. Pretty much everything from here on out is a 4.5, potentially a 5-star movie on my list. So that's how good we're talking about 2021 is in movies.
Yeah. My number 8 was Free Guy. I mean, you can't go wrong with Ryan Reynolds basically playing Deadpool in a different movie. And I hate it because the fact that he's being regulated or regality, whatever. He's being forced into taking on roles, words, whatever. He's taking roles that are basically just one trick pony. The problem is he does it so well. Like, there's a reason Deadpool did so well that they made it Deadpool 2, because we want to see more of that character. That's what this is. It's that more of that character, just in a different character role. And a lot of his movies have been like that. The quick off the top of the head quips. Like, he's just really good at that, and I want to see that no matter what he's in. Like, even Red Notice was good because of that ish. But not as good. Not as good, but I mean, his character in that. I mean, he's playing Deadpool and everything.
But did you just say Red Notice and good in the same sentence?
Yes, I mean, he was good in it. It was him playing Deadpool again.
We just lost all credibility.
No, I like him. He is really good at playing that Deadpool type character. So anything he does it in is fantastic. Now, that aside, Free Guy was just a really good movie.
That's why you come to the channel.
Live. Yeah.
This is why you come to the channel.
We're gonna do it live. Free Guy was just a good movie. It was very well put together. And it's quite possibly one of the best based off of video game movies we've gotten ever.
Which is funny because it's not really based off of an actual video game. It's just a movie about a video game.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, enjoyed it.
So
number
we're
7.
At number 7.
7.
So number 7 for me was Last Night in Soho. I actually really, really.
But what was it today?
You happy about that one?
No.
Feel good about that?
No.
You interrupted me for that joke.
I did. It was both worth it and not worth it at the same time.
Yep. So number 7 is Last Night in Soho. Shut up, cat! Don't egg him on. I thought it was really, really, really well done. Just the juxtaposition between Anya Taylor-Joy and Thomasin McKenzie's characters, and how they were able to do that with the effects, and then like the story they were telling and the way they were presenting it, made me as a man feel sick to my stomach. And if you are a man, you should have felt sick to your stomach watching that movie, because I think that was one of the goals of that film. It is, maybe it's not necessarily a movie that I'm going to like run to, like, you know what? It's a movie night. I feel like throwing on Last Night in Soho. It's not that kind of movie, but it is one that I definitely will probably return to a few more times in my life for sure. It was just a really like, it was really good. It was just really, really good. Like, I think you're gonna hear the breakdown on this a lot in terms of like how we or at least how I state, you know, my opinion on these movies. I think it's really good. It's really solid. It's really good. I'm gonna say that a lot. That's just how we're doing it live right now.
Because we're not professional critics. We haven't gone to school for journalism. So what did you think about this movie? It was good.
My vocabularistics aren't filled with colorful, flowery language.
I feel like this is like whenever we came home from school as kids and mom was like, "So, how was your day at school?" We're both like,
"It's fine."
It
was good. It was a day. Yeah. But I mean, so again, this movie is another movie. It's an example of a movie that has something to say. It's something that you need to watch, take in, understand. I understand also there's a lot of people out there who didn't connect with it for good reason. And I will say that they have good reasons for not connecting with it and how certain aspects of the movie are presented. Just for me and just like what I was taking in, it really, really worked for me. So,
yeah. My number 7 was Malignant.
Meatball.
Malignant. Yes, it was. My number 7 was Malignant. When I first watched it, like even though the ending is very twisty,
surprising actually.
Yeah. My first watch, I was like, this looks like it was just kind of like thrown together like real quickly. And then when I watched it again, I was like, this movie's really good. It does have like that fast, like hastily thrown together, like cheap, low budget horror movie feel to it. But it's supposed to have that feel on purpose. And when you get through it, Maligma, when you get through it, that movie's really good. And it again, this movie was done by James Wan, which I should have already figured that out just knowing that James Wan directed it. But it is so good. And I can't wait to watch it. I haven't seen it a third time yet, but I am eager to do that again. This is a movie I would like to put up there on like a pedestal with like, say, Usual Suspects. And that this is a movie that if you ever are watching it with someone who doesn't know the ending, you're in for a good treat because you're very likely going to be watching them more than watching the movie itself. I know my second rewatch, I was watching it, doing a watch along with Ben Goddard, I believe, while he was watching it, and I knew the ending and the twist and everything that was coming, and he did it. And watching him see that was fantastic. That's the kind of reaction that you want to see on the internet.
I, not a horror fan, was watching his watch along, knowing, because I had already heard what happens in the movie, knowing I'm probably never going to watch this movie, honestly. I'm being just completely honest with you.
You're not.
I'm not. It's not my mold. It's not my style. I was watching his reaction to what was happening with me, just knowing what was happening, and that was entertaining. That was fun. That was a fun time. So a movie like that in existence, like those are always great movies for those things. It's just another form of great entertainment you can have with your friends. Like Garth said, the Chris rating scale: rock hard, really solid, floppy. Otherwise known as Very Rocco, General Rocco, and Elmo. Keep it relevant, y'all. Keep it relevant.
It's great.
Yeah. Nerd said Last Night in Soho was a Thomas and Mackenzie masterclass. Absolutely. She I mean, between that movie and Jojo Rabbit, why is she not a bigger star right now? Her career is going to take off for sure.
There was another movie I saw her in. Oh, she was in the Power of the Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, she kind of snuck in there.
Yeah, she really didn't do anything in that movie. So I'm wondering if that movie was filmed like before she was like really known on too much. I don't know.
Yeah, she just kind of snuck in there though. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Number 6.
So number 6. My number 6 is going to be...
you go first this time? Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay. You go. You go first, I go first. Who goes first?
Who's first? You talk first, I talk first. Speaking of Oscar Isaac, number 6 for me is Dune. Any
that is
other
so
year,
stupid. Why do people watch us?
I don't know. Outside of the other 5 movies I have on this list, if those other 5 movies obviously didn't exist, this is going to be an obvious statement. If those other 5 movies didn't exist, Dune would easily be the number 1 movie for me. It was definitely slow paced, definitely a lot slower than, movies that I typically, connect with in that regard. But the scale of it and what Denis Villeneuve is trying to do with Dune, I actually really enjoy. I love the idea of having another like large scale sci-fi movie to get wrapped up in its story. that is what enticed me to watching Dune to begin with. I haven't seen the first one. I haven't seen the David Lynch.
The David Lynch original.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that one.
Or read the book.
Or read the book. So this was my first experience with the Dune property in terms of like taking it in completely. A little bit of stuff here and there, know about it. There's something with spice and whatnot. But this was the first foray into the Dune world. I really enjoyed it. I thought they did did a really good job. I'm very eager to see the next 2-3 movies. I'm assuming they're gonna work towards 3
or 2 total.
2 right now. I assume Denis gonna want to do at least. Well, he's gonna do at least one more, but I would think he would want to do 3. But
like the other books,
some of the other books, touching on some of the stories. I don't think he's gonna do a movie for every book, but regardless, I thought it was just well executed, very well done. Really enjoyed it. I actually really want to watch it again, and I don't think it's on HBO Max again yet, I believe. But when it pops back up on HBO Max, I
want to give it another shot too. And like BCD saying he didn't care for it. Here's the thing that I would actually recommend. And I would recommend this for you too also, Chris. Watch the David Lynch one first.
Okay.
Go watch the David Lynch one first and then rewatch the Denis Villeneuve. So it's a lot more faster pace. It's a lot more easier to digest. The Vinny Villeneuve is
Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah, it's very expansive in the ideals and the scope of what they're doing with it, which makes sense. And I thought they did a very good job. And if that was your first foray, like my brother, into watching Dune, I thought that's not a bad way to go. But I would recommend go back and watch the 1984 David Lynch one.
Yep. Also, Kat, I recommend a VPN. I believe that we've had some friends over in Australia, a certain friendo over in Australia who used a VPN and was able to access HBO Max. So VPNs are your friend.
Mm-hmm. So my number 6 is Spider-Man No Way Home. It's a really good Spider-Man movie, y'all.
What?
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing, but the other movies, my 5 through 1, are so good. Like we're really pushing the limits of like what could have actually been number 1 after this one. I thought this movie was good. I don't believe I'm not going to subscribe to the idea that this is the best of the Spider-Man movies, but it's really high up there. It easily beats out most of all the Raimi movies and the amazing Garfield movies. Was that John Watts or Mark Webb?
Amazing Garfield, Mark Webb. John Watts is the Homecoming.
John Watts is this one. Okay. Yep. I might need to remember that in case that ever comes up as a question in something or another. But yeah, I love what they did with this movie. The scope that they were shooting for. Had you told me what they were going to do with this movie after watching Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3, I would have like called BS on that and like, no, you can't handle a movie trying to do all this. And they did. They basically quadrupled what they did in Spider-Man 3, and they made it work.
Figured it out.
Yeah. So Sony, stop doing Spider-Man stuff on your own. Let Marvel, let the MCU have a hand in it. So, yeah, yes. Good movie.
The Amazing Garfield movies with Bill Murray voicing Garfield.
Yeah. Well, none of those have actually been amazing.
No, they've all been terrible. So anyway.
At number 5
for me, I'm gonna let my brother like go further on this one because he has yet to mention it. But number 5 for me is a movie I watched last night.
Oh, geez, only 5? That you put it at 5?
Yep, I did. I watched it last night, and it is the movie that kicked Lamb out of my top 10. That movie is Coda. if you have not seen this movie, you will understand why it made it into the top 10 at the last minute.
Yeah.
There's about 5-6 moments towards the end of the movie that I was definitely bawling during. It is so good. Such a fantastic movie. Family. It is, purpose and, what your you taking ownership of your own future, someone's identity, and how much the people around them are feeding into their identity, or how much of their own identity they are in control of themselves. There's just so much about this movie that is just so good. Again, like I say, this is another one of those examples of a movie that I believe everybody needs to watch. And again, I just watched it last night. I've already gotten the idea of this. Like, this is, if this for some reason has flown by you, it's you've missed it. It is worth it's worth probably signing up for Apple Plus just to watch it. But also, like, if you haven't signed up for Apple Plus, you probably got a free month or whatever with it anyway. So you might as well sign up for that free month and just use that to watch Coda. Best usage of a free month membership to a streaming service. Yeah. So highly recommend that. If you have not seen it yet, jump on Apple Plus. Absolutely worth it. It was so good. And I love that the father in this movie was in an episode of Scrubs.
Yeah.
It's just everything about this movie. The actress in it, she needs to get some award recognition, even if just a nomination. Yeah. Just the level of like prep work that she went into going into this movie, she needs some kind of award to recognize, a nomination at least, to recognize that effort. So Coda. Really, really good. Watch it.
So my number 5 is going to be, quite possibly, in my opinion, my favorite out of all the A24 movies I've ever seen. And I really like Midsommar, but this one was Lamb. Lamb was so good. And here's the thing, like, I'm both disappointed. I both like and I'm disappointed by this. Lamb was sold as a horror movie. It's not a horror movie, y'all.
Nope.
It is a dramatic movie that has a little bit of weirdness to it, but it's not horror at all in any stretch of the word.
It has intense moments, but they're not scary.
Yeah. I loved Lamb. The second I left the theater, I wanted to immediately go right back in and watch it again. And it's hard for a movie to do that for me. I have really, really bad ADHD. It's hard for me to take a movie in and then want to immediately watch it right again. Yep. Typically I'll watch a movie once and I won't see it again until probably it's on video. Like Spider-Man, for example. We have not seen Spider-Man No Way Home outside of the one time we saw it in the theater. I want to see it again. I've been wanting to go back to the theater to see it again, but just haven't been able to. Yeah. I love Lamb. Lamb was so good.
Do you love Lamb, or are you just saying that because Lamb is in the room?
I love Lamb.
I love Lamb.
I should draw like a lamb on the whiteboard over here. I don't know if you can't really. Yeah, you can't really. You can see the corner of the whiteboard over here, but yeah, that would have been funny.
See the tagline logos in the way, but yeah. I love Lamb. Yeah, it's good. It's really interesting that it made it that high up in your list.
I knew it was going to go high too. So
it's just, there's so many other movies that I just connected with. Like, I love Lamb. Lamb was great, but man, I really do wish I was able to keep it on my top 10. Anyway, we're at number 4.
BCD. I would recommend give Lamb a shot, just because, again, it's not horror. It's just a little weird. And if you kind of already know, like, about the titular lamb in the movie, then you're mostly already into the weirdness of it. So
yeah, it's at least fun for a first experience. Even you don't have to like ever revisit it again. Just, I would recommend it for like, hey, just experience it for one time.
Yeah,
give it a shot. I mean, it's not even that long, right? It's under 2 hours.
Yeah,
it was basically like what, an hour and a half or so. Yeah, so it's actually fairly short for a movie. Anyway, so number 4 on my list, And this is the one that I feel like I'm going to have to defend why it's this high, because we just passed Coda. I put Free Guy at number 4 on my list. And I can already hear the boos like, why would you put Free Guy over Coda? Because Free Guy was entertaining as hell. It was a lot of fun. It's probably, there's one other movie on this list, and it's going to be the next one above Free Guy for me, that I probably had more fun with than Free Guy this year. Free Guy is the movie that I had the most fun in going to see a movie with in a long time. If that makes sense.
Thank you, Catotot, for not disappointing us.
Oh, Cat. Should have seen that coming. Anyway, Free Guy is Free Guy. It is the most fun I've had in a movie in a long time. It's hitting like all the great buckets in terms of like it's fun, action-packed blockbuster, great personalities, great script. Just the storyline is actually really well put together. It might be a little thin. The story might be thin, but it's a really well done thin story, if that makes any sense, if y'all understand what I'm saying there.
To be watching them filming this without knowing what it's about had to be funny as hell. Like, what the
what is there, a cop and a bunny? What? Ryan Reynolds. What is happening?
That's one of those, like, if you were to go down and just ask somebody, like, what are they doing? They're filming a movie. Okay, why is there a bunny and a cop? Well, the movie stars Ryan Reynolds. You're like, okay, I get it. Like, just be told that Ryan Reynolds is in this movie, and you're like, okay, I halfway understand why there's a bunny and a cop now.
Gonna go ahead and assume this is Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
No, it was, that's the other thing. Like BC says, the cameos are all well earned. Yeah, the cameos in the movie, great. There's an expert level of, what's the term I'm looking for? Meta might be right. There's just enough that a self-awareness. There was enough self-awareness about the movie that made it a lot of fun. Like, usually if you get this much self-awareness in a movie, it gets a little too ham-fisted. It gets a little too on the nose. You're like, okay, all right, I get it, fine. But I think they balanced it perfectly for this movie. On top of that, Ryan Reynolds, funny as always. Him going from the happy-go-lucky guy who's just, I'm living in this world too. Wait, my mind has been blown and my eyes open to my entire existence. So good. Jodie Comer, fantastic in this role, playing the dual roles of her character within the video game world and her character outside of the video game world. And just there's that word again, the juxtaposition of the two, how she operates within and without. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a ton of fun. I am eagerly anticipating being able to watch it again. I'm probably going to watch it again whenever it hits. I'm assuming Disney Plus is the streaming service it's going to hit first. It might hit another streaming service first, but I would assume it's Disney Plus since it was a Fox movie. It's got Disney properties within it now as well. So I can't wait for it to pop on there, and I'm going to give it another watch-a-loo.
Okay. So I'm going to do my number 4, and then we have a Streamlabs to read, and then I also want to go back. I know a bunch of y'all in the chat have been posting like some of your numbers, so I want to quickly go up and acknowledge those. My number 4, though, was West Side Story. I thought they did a fantastic job redoing West Side Story. The story, the look, the aesthetic, the small changes that they made between the original 1961 movie and this one, I liked those changes. I do know that like maybe some of those changes were closer in line to the original Broadway performance and not so much the movie itself. But I love what they did with that movie. I love that this is a Spielberg movie that does not feel Spielberg-y at all. And yeah, I will subscribe to the idea that this might be one of Spielberg's best movies, even though most people probably won't ever think of that. I thought it was really good. Yeah, the whole thing with Elgort Ansel or Ansel Elgort, however you say his name. That aside, because I know that's one of those that it's still kind of like up in the air exactly what he did and did he actually do what people are accusing him for. And I know that's one of those that's kind of left up to the the court of public opinion right now. It does make it a little awkward, and I think there was stuff like that with a couple of other movies that we were talking about as well here. There's just something about the movie that kind of like for a little bit, but if you look past that and just watch the movie for it being a movie, like I know I mentioned Usual Suspects earlier, I still will watch the hell out of Usual Suspects, even though given Kevin Spacey's piece of crap.
Right.
West Side Story, I thought, was a very good remake. It added enough to it to make it worthy of its existence, and I think it hit every single beat that I was wanting it to do, and it did it flawlessly. And also gave us Rachel Ziegler, who I can't wait to see more from her because she nailed Maria, and also what's her face,
Ariana DeBose.
Yeah. I can't wait to see more from her. Between her performance in this movie and what she did on Saturday Night Live, yeah, I cannot wait to see more from her.
Yeah. I'll touch on that real briefly because West Side Story is not in my top 20 because I guess I just don't connect with the whole Romeo and Juliet story. Therefore, the whole story of West Side Story isn't going to connect with me as much. Therefore, the only good thing I can really say about the movie in terms of what I like about it is the aesthetic. I thought they did a really good job making it look old Hollywood again. Like it looked like they filmed it on a studio sound lot stage or studio stage lot, whatever the term is. I can't words.
Backlot.
It looked like that. Yeah. Backlot. That's what I was trying to get. It looked like they were filming on a backlot, which I absolutely loved. It gave it a nice magical quality. And then I will say that if you have any trepidation on seeing it for the reasons of Ansel, I would say that he isn't actually the star of the movie. The movie, Maria is the lead character in the movie. Rachel Ziegler is the star of the movie. Tony is more of a supporting character to her than anything else. So I would highly recommend still seeing it. I understand like if you just can't get past the block of him being in it, perfectly understandable. I would still recommend seeing it just because like there's a whole lot of other people who worked on the movie, just a ton of other people who don't have issues, don't have any of that stuff, and they all put time, effort, and hard work into it. And so for those reasons, I think it does deserve to be seen. Go support Rachel Ziegler, go support everybody else who put effort into it, and don't let the mistakes of one of the actors kind of soil that whole thing. Yeah. Anyway,
real quick, there was a Streamlabs that was sent in from Bowser. Apparently, we're really good, especially my brother is really good at getting Mario characters to submit Streamlabs. So I guess they have now submitted over here on Cinefanatics rather than on his Twitch channel, which again is twitch.tv/ChrisAdamsMLP. So make sure you follow over there because you never know when Mario characters may donate money.
That's true.
But there is a Streamlabs from Bowser of all the people. Why that guy?
He did actually donate. He's been friendly. He's been a friendly lizard lately. He donated to me over on Twitch just recently too. So Bowser's getting around.
He said, "Good to see you fellas back on screen." Yeah, I was trying to do my Bowser impression. I'm surprised it didn't. I'm surprised it didn't sound like John Travolta. Also,
I was going to do the impression of Tori doing an impression of Bowser.
Yeah. Hardy. Tori, we miss you.
Gone but never forgotten. Anyway,
let's look at some other, like, again, people in the chat have been putting in their lists. Like Commentating Nerd has said, so he's got number 10, Lamb, 9, Coda, 8, Last Night in Soho, 7, Dune, 6, Judas and the Black Messiah, 5, Belfast. 4 In the Heights, and 3 No Way Home. I will touch upon Belfast real quick because I've seen it and my brother hasn't. I had a hard time getting into that, and I think part of the number one thing that made it hard for me to get into Belfast is because I don't know any of the history that movie is drawing from. I don't know what the Troubles in Northern Ireland were about back in the 60s. So that made it hard for me to connect because I had no idea what was going on. And I feel like while watching the movie, I was like, you really kind of don't need to know that. But by then I was already like kind of lost. And the aesthetic of it was really weird. It has a lot of like Van Morrison songs because Van Morrison is from Ireland. There's a lot of his songs that made the movie sound more like it was late 80s, early 90s type of drama movie with that kind of like you're in New York sound to his songs. It reminded me a lot of Philadelphia, Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington movie. It reminded me of that as far as how it sounded. Which I love Philadelphia, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I had a hard time connecting with Belfast. So it's not on any of my lists anywhere.
I haven't seen it, so it's not on mine.
BCD, did you put your like 10? Where was it at? Vamping. I am vamping live while reading. I can do more than one thing at a time. Yay!
I only see 5.
Yeah, I'm going up and I don't see it. So,
nope,
there it is. Yeah, 10. He put Tick Tick Boom. 9 Nobody. 8 Shang-Chi. 7 King Richard, and 6 Spider-Man No Way Home. Some good picks there. And then number 5 Eternals. 4 Free Guy. 3 Finch. That's that Tom Hanks with the robot movie.
Yeah,
like right before like the Terminator started thing.
I want to see Finch also.
Yeah, I know it didn't. It didn't do as well. There's not a huge word of mouth on it, but I like Tom Hanks. It's kind of hard for Tom Hanks to make a bad movie.
It's possible.
It is possible, but it's hard.
Fiery Crown.
Yeah. I don't know history and Lincoln's Twisted. Here's the thing. I know history. I'm one of those people that I will fall into a rabbit hole of Wikipedia and just read thing after thing after thing. Just because I'm like, ooh, I don't know about this. I need to the Cuban Missile Crisis. I didn't know actually know exactly what this was about until like a couple of weeks ago. I was familiar with it, but I didn't know the exact reason. So I read up on it. I was like, geez, this is stupid how close we were to World War III during that. It's just insane. Anyways,
the ironic thing, and this is a knock against the public education system, is that we probably learned all about the Cuban Missile Crisis in school, but remember absolutely nothing from what we were taught.
Yeah, so I had no real actual interest in finding out about it for myself until I rewatched X-Men First Class. I was like, what is actually going on here? The don't
power
know.
of superhero movies. Take that, Martin Scorsese.
Anyways, yeah, so that's why is like I and because of like Belfast, like without skipping a beat, I know it was about the Troubles. I had never heard about the Troubles until Belfast, but now I know of it enough to at least speak as to what it is and when it was. Anyways, yeah, so let's move on to number 3.
Number 3 for me, the only other movie that I had more fun with this year than Free Guy, in terms of just like overall entertainment value to it. Spider-Man No Way Home. Come on, how is that not in my top 3? It is. It was fantastic. I mean, there's so much, obviously, like there's a lot that we knew like going into it about the 3 Spider-Men. Spoilers for Spider-Man, by the way. It's been out for a month. Y'all have all seen it. You have all 3. You got the Toby, you got the Andrew, and you got the Tom, and just all 3 of them being together. They were on the line of too much nostalgia and fan servicing. They were on that line, and if they went any further, they probably would have gone past the line, but they did it perfectly. It was absolutely exactly what it needed to be. So well done. I'm glad that Sony finally, with the help of Marvel, figured out how to do a movie with multiple villains in it. Spoiler alert, you make most of them obsolete at some point and really only have one as the main villain.
Yeah.
It was just, it hit every note of perfection in terms of what a comic book movie could be for me. I'm at the point where I am still trying to figure out whether I like it as a Marvel MCU movie more or just on the same page as Infinity War and Endgame, which I still lump together because it's one complete story if you put them both together. It's hard for me to say that it isn't one of my favorite MCU movies. It absolutely is. It might even be my favorite MCU movie. I definitely need to see it again because this is all coming off of just one viewing. So who knows what a second viewing could fluctuate, how it could fluctuate my opinion there. But I will say it is definitely, after that one viewing, it is definitely my favorite Spider-Man movie. It's No Way Home and then Spider-Verse, and then we can get into the rest of the list another time. But I absolutely loved Spider-Man No Way Home. They hit it out of the park so hard. Every inch of that movie, I think, is Spider-Man perfection. Just so great. And just the character beats, the things that they brought back from Tobey's movies, Andrew's movies, and retouched on, and storylines and plot lines that they wrapped up from those, just perfect. I loved it. So it is number 3 on my list. Such a good movie.
Yeah, I think the rumors and speculation kind of killed it just a little bit, but
to a degree, yeah, it did.
It was still awesome seeing it still come true on screen, because I mean, we all had built up in our head what would happen if this was to happen, and I love the way that they actually executed it. So
also BC is right here. I highly recommended that he check out, I believe, you saw the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but you hadn't seen Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies. I highly recommended him watching at least the first 2 of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies before watching No Way Home. And I love the way I worded that too, because I was like, there's definitely like some character stuff with some of the villains that you'll miss out on if you don't watch those movies. I said nothing about the fact that, oh yeah, Andrew and Tobey are also in it, and you need to watch those movies to understand their Spider-Man and where they're coming from. So I kind of hid the main reasoning why I was telling BC to go watch those movies, but worked out. He saw it, loved the movie. I did my job.
Good. My number 3. This is what's hard. My 1, 2, and 3 could all be number 1.
Yep.
So this really comes down to, how did I connect with the movie? Like for each and every one of these, just how did it connect with me? Pretty much like spiritually. So that's the order these are in. But for here on out, just consider all of these movies could be a number 1 on my list easily. My number 3 was Coda. Coda was so good. Everything you said about it, all that included, the dialogue, the writing, the story. I love how this movie dealt with disabilities, specifically people who are deaf. I did grow up having a friend who was deaf, so I did learn a little bit of sign language. Again, I have a former girlfriend who had a disability and who was studying to get a degree in sociology with a focus on disability. So I had learned a lot more about disabilities by being with her and while she was studying for her degree. So that made me appreciate this movie a lot more. But this movie is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. The humor of it hits every beat perfectly. The story hits every beat. It just, yeah, I don't know. Coda over Free Guy, that's blasphemy. Coda hit everything that I wanted in a movie. And it's funny, like I was about to like just say like, well, I don't think there's anything else that's going to hit my top 10. I don't think, like, I was saying this before I had watched Coda and Belfast. And I was like, I don't think anything else is really going to crack my top 10. I watched Belfast. I was like, yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. Nothing's going to hit. I really wasn't even like in the mood to watch Coda. I just sat down and just forced myself to watch it, and I was like, this movie is phenomenal. Like, I loved this movie. So yeah, number 3 could easily be number 1. Just damn. If you haven't seen it, you have to watch it.
Absolutely. Yep. So much Coda praise. All right. Number 2 for me. This is going to be great because I can do number 2, you can do number 2, and then we could just do number 1.
Yep. That's how this works.
Yeah. So I said it like that for a reason. Everybody who's been following me knows that they already know what my top 2 movies are. They just didn't know what order that they were in. And I have a means to explain why I chose one movie over the other. This movie was my number 1 movie for a bulk of the year, and I didn't think anything was going to top it. And that movie was In the Heights. I loved In the Heights. And the reason for that is In the Heights hit a specific note for me as somebody who I consider myself a creative. I consider myself somebody who has a dream that wants to achieve it. Honestly, like both of the top 2 movies do that, but In the Heights,
pretty much sure you just gave away what number 1 is now.
Everybody already knows what number 1 is. In the Heights did that at the time of watching it earlier this year. It so much of that movie was about being a dreamer, having a dream. It was about both sides of it. It was about the dreamers on the socio-political side, the immigration stuff. It touched on a lot of that, which is a very real subject matter that should be addressed. But also at the same time, it did so much for somebody who just has a goal, has a dream, has something they want to achieve. And it talked a lot about that because multiple characters in the movie had dreams that they were trying to go after. You had Usnavi, who had the dream of reopening his dad's bar out in I believe I want to say it was the Dominican Republic, or is it Cuba? I think it's Dominican Republic. Sorry. He wanted to reopen his dad's establishment out there, start a new life out there. And then you had Vanessa, who wanted to be a fashion designer, move downtown and just be like a big fashion designer. And then you had Leslie Grace's character. I'm blanking on names right now because I'm just trying to move through it so we can get through the end of this list here. Her whole battle with, and this struggle hit me too, was the whole not feeling like I belong in school type thing. She had very specific reasons for that, but just so much about this movie just hit me exactly right. And I was like, I love this. The musical numbers are great. The transition from Broadway to movie was expertly done. Just all the characters were wonderful, were vibrant, were in your face, and just fantastically put together both by writing and the actors in the roles. Just everything about it I just absolutely loved and adored. So In the Heights, I've probably watched it. How many times have I watched it now? I've probably watched it like 3-4 times this year.
Yeah.
Which, I know a lot of people will sometimes, if they find a movie they love, they'll watch it over and over and over and over and over again. For me, watching it like 3 or 4 times in 1 year, I did rewatch it again when finalizing my list. And I'll touch on that again here when we talk about the number 1 movie. For me to watch it like 3 or 4 times in a given year means I absolutely love the movie. We're talking about how many times I watched La La Land when it was available, when it was out and available to be seen constantly. Like, we're talking about like, I loved this movie. Watched it so many times. I watched it like multiple times while it was on HBO Max in its first initial HBO Max run. So that's where I'm at with that. Let's move it over to your number 2.
My number 2 is also another movie that I have just recently watched within the past couple of weeks. And I think it was about like halfway, maybe like even a quarter of the way through the movie. And I was like, oh yeah, this is going to score high. Like I just knew right off the bat that I was going to like this movie. That would be the Mitchells versus the Machines. Like, it's so good. The animation, the voice acting, the dialogue, the story, just, it was so very well done. What I really liked is, again, we were talking about this was done by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I tweeted out about it, and out of nowhere, Phil Lord liked my tweet. And I was like, oh, this is so good.
I'm
like,
a son. More people see this in the phone book.
Yeah, I'm with somebody now. It's a reference to The Jerk. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all need to watch that movie too. Coda and The Jerk. That's y'all's homework. Mitchells and the Machines was so good. And I know like Commentating Nerd said that's his number 2 also. If you've heard anyone say good things about Mitchells versus the Machines and you haven't seen it yet, whoever's telling you that, start following them and their movie opinions, because those are good opinions to have. This movie was so good. By the end of the movie, I was tearing up. I was laughing. I was so happy. All three of my top 3 movies, these are movies that you put on if you are just not having a good day. If you're just not in a good headspace and you just need like something positive in your life, these 3 movies are movies to put on for that. Or at least number 2 and 3. I know number 1 kind of has like a little negative to it a bit, but yeah, just these movies are so powerful, and that's what I really like at the end of the day, is a movie that's going to make me feel some feelings instead of just giving me that entertainment value. Coda did that, and Mitchells versus the Machines. As goofy as Mitchells versus the Machines is, it was. And now I'm also regretting putting it at number 2 because that's a long ass title and I'm tired of saying it over and over and over again. But there we go. There's our Russian spammers in the chat. Hey, welcome back. Anyways, I love this movie. I thought it was great. Just check it out if you haven't had a chance yet.
Mitchells versus the Machines. Yeah, really, really good. And then we'll go ahead and say, actually, let's go back and look at everybody else's. Yeah. BC has it number 2.
Malcolm's number 1 is The Father, 2 In the Heights, 3 No Way Home.
I will say, Kat just said just rewatch the opening number for In the Heights. So good. Yes, it's one of the best like cold opens for a movie I've seen in a while. The opening number for In the Heights is perfect.
Commentating Nerd said that number 2 is Mitchell's Machines, number 1 is Come On, Come On, which neither of us have seen Come On, Come On yet, but he might still flip 1 and 2 when all is said and done. Yeah, I mean, these are some really good movies, and I love the fact that for the most part, and not just y'all in the chat, I've seen this across like Twitter and everywhere else on the internet. A lot of these movies that we're putting in the top here are movies that a lot of people just wholeheartedly all agree that are movies that deserve these higher spots in our lists.
Yep. All right. And so we'll say we both have the same number 1 movie for the year. So
yeah,
our number 1 movie
should be obvious. Like I'm actually curious if anyone in the chat actually can figure it out and know it. Because I know we've said it on Twitter so many times. We've quoted it. We've stuck GIFs or GIFs, however you want to say that word. Yeah. The what?
Everybody knows it.
Yeah. Easily number 1 movie of this year. Tick, Tick, Boom.
Tick, Tick, Boom.
God, that movie was so good.
So for me, I'll say this much. It's interesting to me that this movie, how the story of how it topped In the Heights for me, I think is a lot of fun, because even after I'd seen it, I was like, I still have In the Heights at number 1. I don't know if I put Tick, Tick, Boom over In the Heights. I don't know. And I rewatched both of them because I can't go into this saying like, oh, we have a tie at this number. No, someone's got to be number 1. Someone's got to be number 2.
I guess it's going to be Space Jam 2.
Hell no. Not even close. Not even anywhere close. So the fun thing about rewatching both of these to finalize the list is that for Tick, Tick, Boom, I rewatched it enjoyed it even more the second time. Still tearing up in spots. Movie just hits emotionally so well. And it touches on the same things I spoke about within the Heights, which is, someone who's got a dream. You're talking about Jonathan Larson, his life, and how he achieved his Broadway status, and just the grind that a person has to go to get there. Just reflects so much about like the grind of like what I'm doing in terms of like what we're doing in terms of like what we're doing online. And, I do stuff with the wedding filming. And so everything that we're doing here is theoretically in an artistic or creative space. So that hits so much there, but rewatching that. And then I rewatched In the Heights afterwards. Both movies that I enjoyed the songs from both movies, but after rewatching In the Heights, immediately after rewatching it, you even came to my room when we were talking about this stuff. The movie was done. It was over. I had just finished watching In the Heights, and I had a song in my head that I was singing along to. I don't remember which specific song it was, but I do know it was from Tick, Tick, Boom.
This is the life.
It could have been any of them. It could have been Therapy. It could have been Boho Days. It could have been any of the movies.
Bad.
This wasn't a call for you to start singing.
Whatever. There's always a call for me to sing. Whatever.
No, there's not. There's never a call.
Look,
anyway.
I like singing and music. Y'all all need to come to terms with that.
Shut your face. I'm muting you. So the point is that the fact that I just watched In the Heights, and the first song that was in my head after watching a musical was a song from Tick, Tick, Boom. I was like, that's my tell. That is what I needed to say. Yep, Tick, Tick, Boom is the number one movie. Just something about Tick, Tick, Boom hit stronger and hit harder than In the Heights did. And that's why it's at number one for me. Plus, like, Andrew Garfield killed it. Everything about the movie was great. The story of Jonathan Larson's life was fantastic, how they told it. I'll let you speak on it. You watched it right before me, so
yeah. So my connection with this movie is me being a Rent head, someone who very much enjoys Rent. And I would like to clarify, I am a fan of the movie, yes. I am also a fan of the stage show. And while I've never seen it live on Broadway, I have watched like the live on Broadway movie that came out, the DVD, whatever. I think it came out like in 2008. I have seen that. So I am familiar with the actual Broadway performance, which the Broadway performance and the movie of Rent are two different monsters. But I love both of them almost equally. That being said, I because of my love of Rent, I was familiar with Jonathan Larson. I am familiar with his story and what he went through up until his unfortunate passing. And going back and seeing this movie as essentially a deep dive into his mind and how he was striving to hit that goal, the stuff he wanted to do with his life. I love being able to see that. And especially now looking back on it from this point of view, the point of view of he managed to hit his dreams. He hit his dreams just as he passed away. Like he passed away opening night of like the first opening night of Off Broadway for Rent. So the day that it was supposed to be publicly available for people to come see, he passed away that night, that morning. It is extreme. If you don't know the story of it, you need to watch Tick, Tick, Boom, watch like documentaries about Rent, the making of Rent. All of it is very interesting. And especially if you like either Rent or Tick, Tick, Boom. But I connected with it on that. And kind of like what my brother was saying, I do also like these people have a creative streak in them and they need to create and they want to create, but they can't hit through that barrier. They need that one good song, Rent, to get through to that, to be able to achieve their dreams. And that's what I connect with the most out of all of these movies. So that's why Tick, Tick, Boom is so high for me. I have watched Tick, Tick, Boom multiple times since it came out. I listen to the soundtrack damn near every day. I'm seeing the songs everywhere. So yeah, it happens. And Garth sent in another Streamlabs saying, please stop singing, Robert. No, I won't stop singing. Stop shutting me up. I love to sing. Even though I might not be the greatest singer in the world, I want to sing. I really wish I did choir back in grade school.
The world is glad you didn't.
Oh, shut up. I like to sing. I like music.
So do a lot of people who get turned down by Simon Cowell on American Idol.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to apply for American Idol, mainly because I'm 40 and I think I'm outside of the age range, but also because I'm not fooling myself. I don't know how to sing exactly. I need to have better control over my vocal cords and diaphragm and stuff. But anyways.
And to be able to sing. Anyway, that's our top list of movies in 2021. I know there's a lot of them. You know, obviously, like the great thing about formulating your own top movies list is that anybody. Kat, I'm gonna time you out.
This isn't Twitch. You can't time out on, or can you? I don't know.
You can. I can't do it as effectively on here as I could on Twitch, but I'm not going to. Point is, anybody can put whatever movie on their list because it affects movie. The beautiful thing about movies is they affect people in different ways. They hit different chords with different folks, and that's what I love about seeing.
The movie, right? Like Sing
the
2
movie
was actually good. Yeah,
the movie.
I thought the first one was just kind of but
so I think that's what's great is we can have our opinions. Other people in the chat, other people watching on replay here can have their opinions, and we can all enjoy and respect each other's opinions about movies and where they fall on the list. I think that's the beautiful thing about all this. I will probably be releasing the image of my Letterboxd list out on Twitter later and open my Twitter up for more discussion on all of that. So y'all can look forward to seeing me at Chris Adams MLP on Twitter. It's over here. You've been doing this long enough. You think I'd know.
We did just change the overlay graphics, so it's okay if you don't know the exact placement of it.
This is Cinefanatics. This is me. Anyway. Probably be doing all that on Twitter. So, anyway, that's our top movies of 2021.
3 hours later.
3 hours? No, 2 hours. What did you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Leave a like and a subscribe.
Yeah. If you like this list, hit the like button that's right below this video.
Because
that would be fantastic.
Look at his face.
So before we call it quits on this first evening. We do need to talk about what's happening this weekend. For that, we are going to bring on a special guest. We are going to bring on, let me see if I got how to do this. Yep. We are going to bring on a Mr. Vernon Greene of A Fan's View. Welcome, Mr.
Hello
Vernon
there.
Greene.
Vernon.
How are y'all doing?
I did not know it was going to kick us up covering up the Patreon and Streamlabs. Anyways.
That hasn't been showing the whole show, just to let you know.
Y'all haven't been able to see that?
No.
Interesting. I'll look into that.
But, yeah, so I'm here to talk about this weekend, and I got my Chris Adams haircut done, got my Chris Adams coat, shirt. I don't have AirPods. I'm sorry. I'm poor. But, yeah, so Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. What is that? 3 p.m. East or Pacific. We are having a 24-hour fundraiser stream on A Fan's View channel. You can find it on Twitter and you can find it on YouTube. _Fans View on Twitter. A Fan's View on YouTube. This is going to be for the gentleman here. We love him. You love him. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. We are doing 24 hours of gentleman-related content, special guests, all kinds of great things, and we want you to come hang out with us. There's going to be something for everybody. There's going to be giveaways. There's going to be watch-alongs. There's going to be trivia. There's going to be video games overnight. there's going to be a special episode of The Marquee Saturday morning. So, yeah, we would really like for all of y'all to come on.
And that starts, that was going to be on Friday starting at
6 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. I am trying to, I don't know why I didn't get this set up before, but, and it doesn't want to seem to work.
Prepared.
Yeah. Well, I was going to grab the thumbnail and at least stick the thumbnail up, but there we go.
You realize I have to lose this haircut now because, yeah. But
give me just a second.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, apparently.
Or stalking, but it's definitely not the latter. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, we've got people like Mara Kanopik doing things. The Demolantas are going to be there. You, of course, got a couple of watch-alongs that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a Video Chronic pop culture quiz on Detective Pikachu. So we're definitely looking for some engagement there.
I thought you were about to say Tick, Tick, Boom. I'm like, oh, I am so down for this.
No, but I think we're going to be talking about Tick, Tick, Boom a little bit. It's probably
going to be talking about Tick, Tick, Boom.
So, yeah. I mean, we got 24 hours. There's going to be a whole lot of stuff. Hey, there he is.
And you don't want to Chris a thing.
There it is. You're going to hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Okay, so real quick, I'm just going to say this. Hopefully we hear it more from Amber than him.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting ready to say. So this has been
no guarantees.
This has been kind of put together by Amber from LGR. Maxwell from the FCL. Adelia from pretty much every type of stream that there is known to man that's in this movie trivia space. And, of course, a little bit by myself. And we're going to be doing this big for Chris. A lot of love for him. And I want to say thank you to those 3 other individuals for all the hard work they've done. Robert's even throwing in a couple of things to help with it. Chris gave us some pictures.
Way to support yourself there, Chris, with the pictures.
I'm not going to go into too many details, but if you have obviously followed Cinefanatics, you know why we're doing this. It is to help Chris out with some things he's got going on right now. And it's all about the love, man. You show us the love, and we're going to give it right back to you 100%, 1,000%, however percent. You might even be able to win a copy of Jurassic World. I don't know.
We want people to show up, Vernon. Come on.
I've got a stack full of Blu-rays.
That's why he's doing Jurassic World and not Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, good point.
Hey, I got a really good one here. Really good. I know we're going to be giving away some copies of La La Land because that obviously is Chris's favorite movie. So we're going to be giving away a couple copies of that. But come on. Best movie ever made. Ghostbusters.
Answer the call.
Again, I completely had no idea that movie was called Answer the Call.
I think we established that last night.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all I wanted to come on screen for. You guys can do whatever it is that you do to close out your show. But, yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you.
That's going to be on
what you're doing, Vernon.
That's going to be on the Fans View channel on YouTube, and we're going to have links all over the place. Look for it on Twitter.
Speaking of a Fans View, what's happening over there tonight?
Oh, well, here in just a few short minutes, probably in about 15, 20 minutes, we're going to be watching a Fans View of Film Favorites, and we're going to be doing Batman and Robin.
Watching. We use the term watching very loosely with this movie.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
But we're going to have Robert there, obviously myself. I'm going to be there. And we're also bringing back Andres Gallego and Caramel Payne. They're going to be there. So
we got the Batman boys back together again for another night of something.
I really was hoping we wouldn't be doing this. But
Bat nipples.
Yeah.
Bat credit card.
That's it. That's over on a Fans View YouTube channel. Check it out.
So when you're done here, head over there and watch Batman and Robin with us.
Yes, sir. Feel free to drop that link in the chat, too.
Yeah. I'll do that.
People
okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you all this weekend.
Bye. Thanks, Vernon. Okay.
All right.
anyways,
that's gonna about do it for this show. We fun little guest appearance there, but let's see. Let's remind everybody what we got going on. What's coming up here? Alicia Silverson.
Yeah. So coming up, we've got, if you're a part of the Patreon, if you're at the Maverick tier, $25 tier or higher, there will be movie trivia hangout. That is going to be Monday the 24th at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. So make sure you hop on the Maverick tier for that. If you are at the Dude tier, which is $5 tier or higher, you could join us on Monday the 31st. We're doing a Patreon watch along of Groundhog Day. That's going to be at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern on that day. That will be through Discord, so it's not going to be a YouTube link or anything. Just join us on Discord in the voice queue, and you'll be in the voice chat when we get that up and going. The 29th, we will be doing the marquee, which will be just me and my brother here ranking our most anticipated movies of 2022. Again, I don't expect Batman to be very high on that. Why? You're going to have to watch the marquee to find out why.
Such a tease.
Yes, I am. Anyways, hop on Patreon, support us if you can, because could use some support here. If you are at even the $1, I know, like, what the was that?
Why'd you look down? Man, I recommend briefs. They give you nice support.
Oh, okay. Well, hop on the Patreon so I can buy underwear, I guess was the thesis of my statements here. As long as you hop on at least the $1, you'll have Discord access. So join us on there. Watch alongs. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at CineFanaticsMLP, Twitter, Instagram. You can also follow me at Robert Adams MLP, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And Chris, you can follow where, Chris?
You can follow me at Chris Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, as well as twitch.tv/Chris Adams MLP and youtube.com/Chris Adams MLP, where Twitch clips and VODs will end up living. So,
yeah. I'm going to start doing stuff on my channel at some point pretty soon, too. I got like a lot of ideas. So, yeah. Lies! I'll believe it when I see it. Anyways, if you like this video, make sure you hit that little button that looks like this down below. Also, make sure you subscribe. If you don't subscribe, well, then you're a bad person.
Do us a favor.
Yes, I don't know.
If that subscribe button is red for you, do a magic trick.
Gray.
If you just click it, it'll turn gray. It's a crazy magic trick. Give it a shot. And if you haven't done it yet, give it a shot. See what happens.
Show all your friends, and then they can do it too. Anyways, I apologize in advance that this has been pretty much a Lola-less episode. She will be back hopefully next week, or at least this weekend, because that's going to be 24 hours long, and there's no way in hell you're not going to see Lola at some point during 24 hours. So you will see her over there. To all y'all who are watching in the chat live, thank y'all for being here tonight. We very much appreciate y'all being here. If you're watching this on a replay later, thank you for giving us the time. Especially if you're going to watch all like 2 hours and 15 minutes of this. Thank you for doing that. Comment down below, what are your top 10 or top 21 movies of 2021? We'd like to see them, just to make sure that we all are not crazy and we all have a good taste in movies. So yeah, drop that down there, and I believe that's going to be it. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, well, thank y'all for watching. As for myself, as for my brother, as for the Cinefanatics and Galactus over here, thank y'all for watching. We will see y'all this weekend. Good night.
See ya.